So this is one of my favorite places in the house. Get a lot of work done here. Come on into my office. I think the biggest challenge that clients face when building a home, particularly if clients have never built a custom home build, would be the number of decisions that have to be made and have to be made in a timely fashion and have to be well orchestrated and planned out in advance. So what we try to do is create, through the critical path process, something that also goes to the client that says these are the decisions that need to be made by these timelines so that we can meet the timelines. If we don't, then it delays. And of course, in building, any delays usually have a domino effect with other trades. So that could really push the timeline back. What we try and do is bring trades together that are going to be working on site at the same time. So as an example, when you're doing all the rough-ins, so that would be your HVAC, that would be your plumbing, that would be your electrical, your pre-wiring, pre-running all the pipes and the venting. We like to hold a meeting with the three principals of those companies on site, do a walkthrough, and then allow them to work together and collaborate on how they're going to get it done and make sure that we achieve a common objective. I think the other thing that's happened is we've established a pretty good reputation with the trades up here in the Blue Mountains. And one trade will tell another trade about Coastal Impressions, that we're a great company to work with. That's resulted in us having some really great people that we're proud to be associated with.
Walk us through the typical timeline for a custom home project with Coastal Impressions.
So the actual build timeline ranges between 11 and 14 months, and that's excavation right through to landscaping and having the product ready to turn over to client. But prior to excavating, there's about a 3 to 4 month period whereby we're going through the actual design work, working with the architects, aligning on the final product, and then submitting for permits, which we take care of all of that in conjunction with clients, or if we're building a home on spec, we'll do all of that ourselves.
And how do you handle changes or delays?
That's one of the things where I think we excel versus perhaps some of the competition, and that is that I treat the follow-up and communication on timelines and progress in accordance with a quarterly update. So think about a quarterly business plan, quarterly update. We will sit down with the clients, walk them through where we are, what we've achieved, what's pending and what's upcoming, and then we'll also walk through not only the original budget, but we run a rolling forecast as well so that we can determine where we're coming in on budget, where we might be over budget, and then we have the ability to discuss options to get us back on track. So that's something that we've implemented with every one of our builds, just to make sure that clients feel that they're completely aware and understand where they are at any given time in the building process.
So what would you say sets your custom home building business apart from others in the industry?
I think what sets us apart is that every time we go to do a build, we get excited like it's our own home, and we wouldn't compromise in our own home, so we wouldn't compromise for our clients. We want them to be as happy and excited as we are when we move into one of our beautiful spaces.
So how would you say your design process has evolved from, say, your first build to your current projects?
So when we moved back from Boston in 2007, we came back to Toronto with these home concepts that were what we were used to seeing in Boston, in Martha's Vineyard, in Cape Cod, hence the name Coastal Impressions. And that was where we embarked upon our first build. It was very much a coastal design, gambrel roof, cedar shingles, even the design of the outdoor living and pool that looked very much like something right out of the Hamptons. So that was the beginning of the Coastal Impressions design and look, and we got a lot of very positive response to that where we were building in Markham. Since coming up to the Blue Mountains, I think what's happened is we've moved from coastal to more of modern farmhouse. That's been something that we've really evolved towards. We're kind of known for white homes. We've built a number of white homes, which was very prevalent again when we were living in Boston, particularly in the town that we were in. But we are about to embark on our first non-white home. We're actually building a home that's It's a lot of stonework, and then it's going to be black board and batten. So that's a departure, or I guess an evolution of design intent. So we're excited about that one. That one's 172 Sleepy Hollow, and then of course we are building one on 110 Wyandotte, both of them in the Craigleith area, and both of those homes will be coming to market in fall 2025.
All right, so in addition to building custom homes, you also offer project management and consulting services, correct?
Yeah, in fact, when we first started Coastal Impressions, the intent was to provide support consulting services to individuals that have never gone through the home building process. We were going to build a home for ourselves and live in it, and then start a company that would actually consult for those that have never gone through the process. It's a pretty lengthy and arduous task building a home. It's an emotional issue the best of times, making those types of decisions, and so we felt that there was a need to help people who haven't gone through the process and may not even be using us to build their home, but to be able to guide them through these uncharted waters.
What makes a house a home to you too?
So what makes a house a home for me is family, 100%, and friends. I want anyone who walks into this home to feel special. So we create, just like this living room, just this cozy environment with a fireplace where conversation can happen and we can catch up on time that we haven't spent together. So for me, family, friends, I love to bless them in my home, whether it's a sleepover or a dinner. We just want them to feel like they never want to go home.
I would agree with everything Joanne said, and I think the feedback that we get anyways is that even though the homes may be large that we're building, they don't feel large. They feel cozy, they feel warm, they feel inviting, and we just want people to come here, relax, enjoy themselves, and as Joanne said, we want it to be a blessing to our friends and family.
Thank you so much for having me. I guess before I leave, what's next for Coastal Impressions?
Next for Coastal Impressions, well, once we get through the two builds that we're working on right now up in the Craigleith area, we're currently looking for additional parcels of land, and we are taking inquiries right now about potential client builds down the road. In terms of longer term goal, very much interested in getting into smaller beach house designs, coastal design of homes that would maybe be 1,000 to 1,200 square feet, accommodate young people trying to break into the market, maybe some retirees that want to downsize. But just got this vision of building smaller, affordable homes that encapsulate the coastal way. So thanks for coming. Glad to have you, and glad you could be part of our day today.